Hey guys, Mike from Shimino's Workshop. Here we have another Korbanth GL9, General Leia from episode 9. Okay. I did one previous install and put a video on my channel. That was my daughter's. That was a birthday present for my daughter. This one is actually for sale. This has Robert Sotomayer's chassis on this one, which is a little bit different, modified, let's say, to have a kill switch. Printed in silk silver, the chassis. I went and modified it so that and that's actually on, modified it to add the kill switch. Also did some modifications up here to deal with the switch plunging. And yeah, I think those are the only two mods that I did to the chassis. And then you can see here there's SD card access. And now with so this chassis, while it can slide out, because there's two screws holding it in, I wouldn't suggest doing that, because you do have access to the SD card through the USB, and with those right-angled USBs, you can actually get to it without removing the battery or removing the Proffieboard or the chassis. So it looks like you won't. Now, certainly you can't get to the SD card without having to lift the Proffie up. But don't do that. The Proffie has some E6000 on the corners to hold it down, as well as some tape to keep it secure. So SD card access is through the USB. Otherwise, if you really want to get to that SD card or make changes, hardware changes, you have the two screws on the side. And what I would do is don't pull it straight out. You're going to turn it. You're going to rotate the chassis clockwise. Yeah, so in the same direction, that's counterclockwise. In the same direction of removing the pommel, you would twist it and then slide it out. And the reason for the twist is because there's a little groove in the chassis for getting around the aux switch plunger, if that makes sense. In fact, you know what? Let me, did I finish printing it? I have another one printed, and I'll be able to show it better. Okay, so this is the chassis. And so you can see we have the switches which sit in the switch grooves. And then just to the right of the switches is sort of another groove that I did mod add. And so to remove it, if you were to just try to pull the chassis out, the plunger would probably catch onto the switches, because it's such a tight tolerance. So that's why I'm saying you would rotate it just slightly. That would put the switches aligned with the groove, and then you can just slide it out. Okay, hopefully that makes some sense. Hopefully you won't have to do that. Just in the event you do have to or want to, that's what I would do. Now, connecting this to program to the computer does not require power. So you could have the battery power switch or the kill switch off, or you could remove the battery, get your USB cable attached, reprogram, do what you need to do. If there are diagnostic tests or something else that you would want power on while connected, hook it up to the computer, get your battery in, turn it on, and you'll be good. Okay, so with all that stuff out of the way, let's say, aux button here.
Ray Skywalker.
Power button on top. There's a Shtok NeoPixel connector in there. blade plug. You have a 28 mil bass speaker, 18650 battery, kill switch, Proffie 2.2. I only have 2 fonts installed, which is General Leia and Scavenger from Kyberphonic. So like I said at the beginning, this one is for sale. I would consider this maybe a B plus grade. I don't want to say B. B is too harsh. But I did buy this from somebody in the community that was looking to sell. And you know, there are some minor imperfections. I don't know if it was him. I don't know if it came to him that way. But let's see, can we see in there? A little bit of discoloration right here around the aux button. Maybe a little bit of discoloration right there. No scratches. It all looks to me like it's mostly just, you know, discoloration of, I don't know if this is powder coating. I don't know how this is colored or painted, but so that's why I'm not saying this is not in mint condition. But I would give this maybe a B plus grade. I'll give the install an A. How's that? But you know, I'll be putting this up on the groups for anybody that's interested or somebody that purchases it. You've probably seen some of the issues going around, you know, with reselling or selling hilts that have fonts on them. So I usually work in one of 2 ways, really. People that buy my sabers can provide me with fonts that they own, and I'll install them for you. Easy. Otherwise, if you don't own fonts, then I would rather you buy the fonts so that you own them and that you can receive updates to those fonts, and then you send them to me. I'll share a Dropbox location. Or I probably have the font. If you just provide proof that you own it, then I can install it for you. So no fonts will be included on this. I can put core fonts. I could put your fonts. You know, so we'll work that out, you know, with the potential seller. What else? I guess that's really it. I covered all the components. Yeah, so you know, if you're interested, shoot me a message on my Facebook page. I'll also take some photos and put them up on the Facebook groups. Probably going to be in the $600 to $700 range. It won't come with a blade. It won't come with a charger. It's a removable battery setup, so I'll assume you'll have a charger already. It will come with the one battery, the 18650 battery. So yeah, so I'll probably be in that neighborhood, $600 to $700. Shipping, PayPal fees, you know, will be paid by the buyer. And yeah, that's really it. Yeah, so like I said, you know, any questions or comments, feel free to leave some comments. Reach out to me on my Facebook page, Shimino's Workshop, and we can chat. All right, guys, thanks for watching.